I'm ready for this one. I have the feeling this is going to be really good. This is going to be really fun. It's going to be really exciting. We got our map pool. It will be Tyto Citadel first, Winter Madness second, 10k atmosphere third, 10k feet, not atmosphere. It's 2k atmosphere. 4 is White Rabbit, and 5 is Mothership. I'm ready. Indy is here. TKO is here. Let's do it. I hope so, Fox. That would make me happy. Let's do it. It's 8 p.m. I mean, normally we expect the main event to start around 8 p.m. It is a little bit before 8, so let's hope we get a 30-minute turbo banger TVP late game. Winner of this series gets 200 buckies. The loser will still get 50 for playing. It is obviously very late in Korea, but both of these guys often play in the Monday Night Weekly, and that goes a whole lot later. That will run for like an additional 3 hours at this point, so they are used to it. I obviously appreciate them playing these games live for us at 4 a.m. It's very awesome. Let's go.
Let's get it on.
Round 1, fight!
In the top left side of Tyto Citadel to kick off the main event of the BBB 108. And before we follow up the introductions, once more guys, I'm gonna be gone for a little while. So BBB number 109 is on the 20th of March and it will have Serral. So Serral will be playing on the 20th of March. I applied for Twitch front page and I got denied. I can't believe it. Never asked for a front page and I got denied. But okay. We're still gonna have a great night. I don't know who Serral's playing yet, but I'll be gone for the upcoming 2 Fridays. But on the 20th, we are back. Top left side representing Team Liquid. It is the one and only Cure, Korean Terran legend, the runner-up of Gamers 8, semi-finalist of the Esports World Cup. What has the man not done? On the bottom right side of Tyto Citadel, we are looking at the main base of our Canadian Protoss living in Korea. Representing Basilisk. Maybe he's got a beautiful jersey like me. I don't know if he got his hands on this one yet. They often send me the test models, which I will gladly always receive. I got a bunch of the White Summer t-shirts, and now I've got a new one. And it has a nice little color. I love it. This is Trigger. And Trigger has sent out one of his... Oh my goodness. Trigger has sent out one of his probes very early, and he has built a pylon next to the main base of Cure, and he's building not 1 but 2 gateways. So much for that 30-minute macro game, eh guys? Thank you, DJ Schutz. Haven't logged into Twitch for a while, but you used to be my go-to. I'm glad you're still at it. Thank you so much, mate, for immediately giving me your prime. That's very sweet of you. And thank you to Zesty Drink as well for the 25 months. I am most certainly still at it, but I'm about to be gone for a little while. 17 days is definitely a long break from streaming, but once we are back, I'm excited. I'm very excited for the period after my Korea trip. Yes, there is a lot of things to look forward to. We're going to have, I think, a few big things in Starcraft coming up. We're going to make some nice improvements to the stream that I'm personally very excited over. I'm going to really try to turn this into my dream room, but more about that later. We've got a gateway at home. We've got 2 gateways on the other side of the map. The moment that Cure... I mean, Cure is this... Guys, Cure has 1 Marine. Cure has 1 Marine, and Cure has not SCV scouted. I want to say Cure is mega dead. I hate to bring it to you, but I think Cure is mega dead. As 2 Stalkers show up, we can at least raise the depot. We can build a mine. We're gonna have to cancel this command center eventually. Like, we're never ever gonna complete this command center. We're gonna lose a lot of SCVs by trying to keep this depot alive for as long as we can. At least the mine is gonna make it very hard for Trigger to get on the high ground, but ideally you always need a bunker here. 1 Marine pops and dies immediately. The second one will die as well. Like the Widowmine, I actually love this. I love this by Trigger, but I also love it by Cure. Cure goes for the on-burrow. He doesn't just want to give him the easy kill. The SCVs, the Drilly Boys, are looking for a kill on the low HP Stalker. The Marine kills the low HP Stalker. This is really good crisis management by Cure. I still think he's kind of cooked. Okay, now he can get a Stalker. And he will get a Stalker. Okay, that Widowmine was value. Is there a world where he's not cooked? Cyclone is 40% done. And these are painful seconds, obviously. We don't have a bunker, and that means that the 2 Adepts and the Stalker are just wailing away at these SCVs. 11 SCVs against a Terran that is now a 1 base Terran. It's a crazy amount of SCVs. Can Cure... I don't know. What can he do? What can he do? Thank you, I'm a noob law, for the 46 months. I appreciate it. It looks beyond amazing for Trigger, but you always have to respect what a man like Cure can pull off with a couple of Marines, a medevac, and a Cyclone. Kills one Stalker. Cyclone is one hit away from dying. It is so dangerous to bring... No, the Stalker is going to shoot at it. No, it doesn't shoot at it. Okay, Cure legitimately handled this as well as any Terran on the planet could ever handle this, given the builds, given the circumstance. Is still in a lot of trouble. But, you know, Trigger is now a pure gateway Protoss that doesn't have blink, doesn't have charge. Is there a world where Cure can make something happen off one base? Gets a lock on, wants a kill. Nice pickup, and Cure's got moves. Cure really has moves. Well, I mean, what can we do? What can we do? On third, we're hard supply block, by the way, at 39. Ay, ay, ay. Another lock on. The Cyclone gets picked up again, The micro from Cure truly has been out of this world, talking about turning water into wine and making something out of nothing. And he is going to be able to unpower 2 of the 4 gateways of Trigger. This Cyclone is a kitty cat. It has 9 lives. It should have died like 4 times. It's very, 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 very impressive by Cure. It may still all just be for nothing. But, you know, maybe, guys. Maybe. Okay, Cyclone gets another... If Cure wins this, this is like one of the most impressive Terran victories that I think I've seen in forever. And I cast a lot of Clem, and I cast a lot of Maru. And obviously we're always rooting for the Basilisk boys, but if Cure wins this, I mean, a standing ovation from my part. Charge is 70% done. Cure is obviously sending in on one base. Economically, he's way, way, way too far behind. Slow Zealots are awful. Fast Zealots are really good. Slow Zealots are awful. 2 tanks will siege up. Shield Battery gets picked up. Cyclone, the Cyclone that should have died like 10 times over is here in the mix. The Zealot count is 8. 8 Zealots with charge, guys. Maybe a little bit of Shield Battery support. We're counting down the seconds until we have charge. It is now or never for Trigger. Trigger waiting for that final warp in. He's a 4-gate Protoss once more. A Guardian Shield, and he's going to go for it before the bunker is ready. This is where life is so tough for Cure. What are the tanks shooting at? The Sentry, the Stalker, but I think the Zealot, maybe the Unsiege tank can help out. Probe's getting pulled as well. Still a lot of Marines. Bunker is done. Bunker needs to get destroyed. The bunker will get destroyed, but the Marine count is still decent. Cure is still doubling the army supply of Trigger. What a game. Is this the most impressive Terran victory that you have seen in Lord knows how long? Or can Trigger still turn this around? I cannot believe it. I cannot believe that Cure might win this game. But maybe the final Zealots. Is the final set of Zealots good enough? The landed Vikings have a lot of DPS. Need to save a couple of Marines. You really need to save a few Marines at all costs. Oh, it's so close. Oh, the pickups once more. Cure with the hot pickups. The Nexus is still alive. Do we have another SCV here to complete that bunker? We do not have another SCV. 2 more Zealots. What is this game? And we're going to try to dodge a couple of the Stalker shots. And we will dodge a Stalker shot. But a few Marines did go down as well. 1 SCV. And it could have been so different. Do we have an SCV coming in? No, we don't. Cure on 12 SCVs. Trigger on 27 probes. With charge. Has successfully held for now. Wow. Wow. What a way to kick off the main event. Obviously, it's difficult to deal with medevac harassment. By the way, if Trigger is able to sneak a probe to the other side of the map, he could repower the gateways. The Marines are battling. The Marines, 1 Marine goes down. I cannot believe that this is a fight that we are looking at, but we are looking at it. A few of the Zealots being annoying. Cutting up some of the reinforcements. SCVs in the mix to repair the Viking. And the Zealot count is going to be high now. The Zealot count is going to be very, very, very high. But I would say Cure should stop mining gas. But then I say that he should stop mining gas, but he really doesn't have any gas. This Protoss army is quite powerful. There is a Liberator in the mix though. Liberators deal a lot of damage. Stalkers will go for the lip, and Stalkers will kill the lip. 1 more on siege tanks. Continued impressive medevac micro. All the Zealots are dead. We are down to our final 2 Stalkers. I mean, Trigger's got an 18 worker lead. I think at this point, Trigger has done it, even though he loses a Stalker there, but I just cannot imagine that Cure can turn this around. Wow. What a game. What a game. And even if it doesn't go Cure his way, I'm so freaking impressed. I'm so impressed. That was an A+ for effort. The man had 1 Marine and a reactor building when 2 Stalkers showed up in his natural. Trigger is now going up to 3 bases, by the way. That is, in my opinion, pushing it a little bit. I don't think we should ever be building a 3rd base here. I think we should just spam units. Yeah, that was... man. I'm so impressed. I feel like it's often what signifies greatness to me is not necessarily the games where great players win, but it's where they lose, but they still look so freaking good and they can make a game so much closer than it ever should be. And I feel like that is most certainly the story here of Game 1. And where we saw Shino leave after he lost 4 drones, 10 minutes into Game 1 of the main event, Cure on 18 SVs is like, you know what? We're just gonna send it one more time. Let's repair our Viking, let's repair our medevac, let's repair the tank. And let's just go for it one more time. And as close of a game as you can ever ask for. But at this point, it should never be close anymore. Even if these Protoss gateway units don't have any upgrades. Like, it's a numbers game, right? 6 gate, even if 2 of them are still unpowered. Maybe we could have tried to sneak a probe to the other side of the map. I would have loved to see it. But 10 Zealots, 2 Immortals. Maybe if the Liberators both siege up and Trigger takes a really bad fight. But this isn't like an 0.1% chance. Yeah. Well, I mean, Trigger now realizes that maybe taking the 3rd base was a tiny bit too much. It's triple tank and double lib. Like, there is a world. You don't want to unsiege both Liberators at the same time, by the way. I mean, Cure sees a really big army. The medevac almost dies. And we know how important the medevac is. Trigger setting up a tiny surround. Couple of Zealots coming in from the back. And obviously, Cure doesn't have steam. Cure doesn't have a crazy amount of units. So even 3 Zealots getting on top of the tanks from the back. Oh, is this tank in range of probes? I think it is, right? Double, triple lib. Where's the 3rd? Where is that 3rd Liberator? Oh my... I mean, okay, we're gonna go for it. I think Trigger is indecisive. Trigger's making life maybe here a little bit harder as it should, but he's got 4 Stalkers sniping that 3rd Liberator, and that is massive. I do like that he's taking his time. Yes, it makes it scary, but it also gives him warp in after warp in. Oh, the bunker is cute. I mean, Cure truly is pulling out all the stops. It's all very cute, but there's so much Protoss. It's triple Immortal. It's 21 Zealots with charge. Oh, that is a tiny mistakey, but he might get another tank. The tank cannot win the fight against 5 Protoss units. As Trigger goes forward, wants the medevac, gets the medevac. No more high ground, at least not from that medevac. They move the... Oh, hello. I don't know. We're trying to snipe a tank. We're trying to snipe a Viking. Did we lose 2 Immortals there for 1 tank? Okay, Trigger is making life hard on himself, guys. It's 19 workers against 19 workers. Hello. Sometimes I feel like just A-moving would have made life a lot easier. We had 21 Zealots. There is a 0% chance that if we just A-move, we would have taken a bad fight with 21 Zealots. I still don't think that we are in danger of losing, but if Trigger loses this Nexus, it is important to keep in mind Terran main bases can fly. That is my tasteless fun fact for this series. When the Terran mines out its base, the orbiter can actually just lift up. It can. And if it does that, and Trigger is a 1-base Protoss that is mine now. Trigger knows that he cannot let it happen, so he is going to send it. A gazillion Zealots, a couple of Stalkers, a few Immortals in the mix. And now Cure is like, maybe I can kill the Nexus, but 4 Marines simply don't have the DPS. It is Trigger, guys. After a very dramatic first game, 14 minutes in, it is Trigger. That's actually a lot of that's a lot of Terran. A full wall of? Full wall of? Deepa, Iba. Bunker. Yeah, no, this was a sick game. I love it. Absolutely love it. But this is not doable. Not even for Cure. Not even when he's playing as well as he has in these first 14 minutes. This is not doable. There is simply a little too much of the alien race out there. GG gets called. The Trigger takes the 1-0 lead. But boy, did he have to work for it. That was insane. The Cyclone Micro was legitimately perfect. Right on the edge of dying over and over and over again. But max value, lock on after lock on. Hot pickup, another hot pickup. Then the Vikings, the SCVs came. And if that one bunker, if we had one more SCV to finish up that bunker when Trigger was legitimately down to like 2 Stalkers, it really could have been Cure's game. Then I genuinely believe that Cure could have won that. What a game that was. That was awesome. That was awesome. That was a lot of action in one game. Edge of your seat kind of stuff. And that's what we want. That's what the main event is all about. I feel like we... This is content, by the way. Before we hop into game 2. Game 2 is loading. Yeah, I just took a look at it, Ian Blue. So, in case you guys don't know how streaming works, obviously a lot of you guys know how streaming works, but not everybody knows how streaming works. Like, I've got my chat open on my second monitor, and there is a little wheel that pops up in the bottom right side when I have an active on-ban request. Most of the time, this purple button isn't there because I don't ban a lot of people, and people don't get banned here very quickly. As I took a look at it, and the on-ban request is definitely... something. Ian Blue was literally making balance comments to me. So if you didn't want to balance... I didn't say anything, but if you didn't want balance talk, then you shouldn't allow Ian Blue to do it and then punish someone in the chat for responding to him. So it's... So to be fair, either Ian Blue gets banned as well, or you remove mine. But hey, it's a free website. And I can just make unlimited accounts. I didn't ban you, mate. You got banned by Ian Blue. It wasn't me. Now, do we ban Ian Blue too? Is that the way we go about things? Oh, what is content? What is content? After a fantastic game, some great in-between game content as well. Here we go. Game 2 of the main event.
Round 2. Fight!
Bottom right side of Winter Madness. We are looking at the main base of our Canadian Protoss, who's living in Korea, playing these games live for us at 4 AM. And what a first game that was. Representing Basilisk, it is a Trigger. I mean, Cure was pretty aggressive there, mate. All things considered, Cure was about as aggressive as anyone could ever be. But he is going to kick things off with an eBay block, so it's passive-aggressive. In the top left side of Winter Madness, down 0-1, but what a game. I was thoroughly impressed by his micro and his decision-making facing all the things that he had to face there. It is Team Liquid's Cure. I mean, I kind of missed most of the discussion between Ian Blue and the individual that is upset. All I know is that he came in with some balance wine, and I did tell him to slow down. Because last time, like, you know, I do think about my actions, and I was a little bit harsh on him. And he was upset with me being harsh on him. And it's like, okay, that's fair, I get it. Then it's time to take a hard look in the mirror and be like, okay, maybe I was a bit too direct, and I can't do that with everyone, you know. I can shit talk Pi because we're buddies and it's fine. But maybe with someone called Zerg on the power, I have to be a little more PC, who knows. So I thought about that. But now he comes in again and he starts whining immediately. And I was like, well, you know, we're clearly just not sticking to the rules. And then I kind of stopped reading, so I don't really know what exactly unfolded between Ian Blue and him. But it feels like it shouldn't be that hard. Just be like, all right, what are the rules? Don't be a dick, don't balance wine. Sure, got it. Let's move on. And if we can't do that, then I don't know if there is a lot of hope. We need a grudge match. I believe Ian Blue is around 1500 to 2000 MMR higher than the man he was arguing with. So I don't think that would be a very exciting grudge match. That is not a match I would make for the Big Brain Bouts. Interesting, by the way, that after the eBay block of Cure, Trigger decided to take a Vespian Geyser in the main base of Cure. This is something that always kind of feels cool and unique in theory, but I don't really know if we're ever really happy with what we get out of that. Cure adding in a third Rex before the starport. I will always compliment Ryung for his great IEM Katowice, where he popularized this build. Really brought it to the big stage, found a lot of success with it. Trigger for the second time in this series is gonna go charge first. Now last game it made a lot of sense to me, knowing that it's very likely Cure was going to one base all in, and it was with a Cyclone, it was with landed Vikings, it was with a tank. Then only relying on Stalkers can make life very hard, so I thought charge first last game was very smart and made a lot of sense given the state of the game. This time I'm less of a fan, especially because Cure is just going to have a crazy amount of bio, and Cure is also going to have pretty quick stim, something he never got his hands on last game. So I'm not loving it for Trigger on paper, but just because we go charge first doesn't mean we have to send it, doesn't mean we have to do anything silly. So we'll keep an eye on it. Oh. I played a Zerg overpowered account on some tourney. I played a couple ladder games against Scarlett as well. They never went very well. Even in an era where some of my builds were a lot better and somewhat more meta than they currently were, you always felt it when you were playing against Scarlett, and it was never a good experience for me. Hello, Anna. I didn't scroll all the way up. I just know that last time I called him out and he wasn't happy, and I was like, okay, that's fair. Like, maybe I should do better. And I was like, will be nice. And then he just comes in immediately, starts complaining. Now he's demanding the Eon Blue ban. But okay, I'm moving on, guys. It's the main event. It's Cure Trigger. Game 1 was fantastic. Game 2, build order-wise, is interesting. I know that people will often think, and in the past I also thought this, like, if you go charge first, it's kind of good in this scenario, because at least you have charge. But the problem is your Zealots don't have armor upgrades. You don't have an overwhelming amount of Zealots either. I actually think that a charge first kind of sucks here. Unless you get a magical fight with a Guardian Shield, maybe way before Cure expects you to, but most of the time you're just gonna get kited, you run out of Zealots, the Zealots will run away from the Guardian Shield too, and I kinda think this is bad for Trigger. Even if he's pushing Cure very far back, there is a moment where Cure will no longer kite back. There is a moment where he kites forward. And this is exactly what happened in a lot of the games that I've seen in the past, or the few times when I tried to go charge first, where I was like, I should go charge here. That seems really smart. The good news for Trigger, though, is that he does live. The bad news is that it's 50 workers against 50 workers, and we have no upgrades. Like, a fight like that can only go well. Oh, no, the Immortal is going to get locked down. The Immortal will probably fall as the Marine's going to go stim forward as well. Great scan by Cure. Yeah, this is a bit of a disaster for the men from Basilisk. Just not enough Zealots. There's barely not enough Zealots. If you take that fight with, like, 5 additional Zealots, it looks very different. But you can't really have 5 extra Zealots there if you also have a third base. If you don't have a third base, the Terran will just not attack you, and then you're forced to attack into them. This time the Zealot count is a little bit higher, and the Marines and Marauders are somewhat overstimmed. I think you should go back now. That was a very good... It was right before the medevac showed up. Still a lot of very low HP Marines. The next team is really going to drop most of these units one hit away from dying. I mean, these Marines have less HP than Pike's Dynamo when he's playing against me in Deadlock, and... yeah, there's never a lot of HP on that guy. He just gets gunned down immediately. So the start wasn't that hot for Trigger, but the follow-up was actually quite okay. At least he was able to kind of reset the bio numbers, and perhaps this is still a playable game. Cure's armory is really quick, by the way. I can immediately fire up +2. Even had the anti-DT turret. Maybe it's like, that's just something that Cure does, where it's like, if they go charge first, they should have a lot of extra gas to work with. And if they do have extra gas to work with, there is always a chance there are going to be some surprise DTs. That was obviously not the case this time, but I like where Cura's head is at. Widow mines are gnarly to deal with when you're this zealot heavy. Maybe you can jump on them before they burrow. That's great by Trigger. That is fantastic. Getting both of the widow mines before they can even burrow and fire. That was actually the most complicated part about Cura's army to deal with right now for Trigger. Trigger wants more, and I can't really blame him because he does have at least an attack upgrade and he already killed 2 mines, but now there are extra mines. Wow, great retarget on the War Prism. Trigger with a great move of picking up the Zealots. Cure with an even better move of retargeting the mine and putting it on the Prism. Thank you so much to Free Feed Beer for the 66 months. I really appreciate it. Cure is battling with very little units here, as he really wants that sentry. Guardian Shield is ready. Extra Widow Mines. That's going to be problematic. We're going to try to drag the Widow Mine shots over the Terran army. The Viking finishes off that low HP Prism. I'm surprised that Cure is battling out this far, because right now, in my opinion, he doesn't really have to. I'd be even more surprised if Trigger decides to stick around after losing the Prism, having very few units. Trigger still wants to battle, and if it just comes down to trying to keep the army small, okay. And maybe by like picking up a couple of the medevacs, we're hoping that there are no Vikings to deal with this one Colossus. I don't think Trigger should be here at all. I know he's got a Colossus, but I really don't think we can be here. I don't think we're welcome, mate. I think we have to pack up our bags and leave, even if Blink is done. Charge has obviously been done for a while. Widow Mine should really burrow. Cure should burrow these mines a bit quicker. That would make his life a lot easier. I mean, I love the confidence that Trigger is playing with to be here. Gun down a Viking. If you can get the next Viking too, maybe it is okay. I mean, I often praise Clem for like how good he is when it comes to dancing right on that fine line of being in and out of striking distance and getting all the free shots off with the Colossus. And we have thermal lens and the Viking count is low, so maybe it is okay, maybe it is acceptable. 6 SCVs go down, and there's a good chance that Trigger is going to get a cancel on the 4th base. But there's always that really scary moment where the Viking count goes up a little bit. We can lift. Cure might lift this orbital soon, guys. I wouldn't be surprised if Cure, when he waits for like 2 more units to show up, then he lifts the orbital and he full stims forward. I've seen him do it. But he's waiting. He's counting down the seconds. There are 4 Vikings on the production tab. And Cure wants to wait until these Vikings are here. He's got +2 attack as well. Drops the yellow submarine. That's going to skyrocket his economy. And these games have been fantastic. Non-stop action between Trigger and Cure in both of the 2 games that we've seen so far. This is going to make the Protoss army a lot more powerful. As obviously by forcing our opponent to focus on Vikings, 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 our opponent does not have an answer to deal with early Archons. Thank you so much. Henning Ghost Hardware for the 72 months. That's fantastic. Here we go. There's that big lift. But there are Archons in the mix, guys. And the Zealot count is very high. The Vikings are trying to do their thing. 1 Colossus goes down. 2nd Colossus goes down. It took a little while. Now the Archons are melting and we are down to just Stalkers. Trigger, his army gets wiped. A couple of the Stalkers are able to retreat. But Cure lost 25 SCVs. It's a serious amount of SCVs to lose. 26. So it's a hold, but this is a moment, if there has ever been a moment, to ask ourselves that cast the question: at what cost? I mean, we are a 3-base Protoss, soon to be a 4-base Protoss. We have a 21 worker lead. Cure getting so much value of having that early +2 attack, and there might be a moment, guys, where Cure can get his hands on +3 attack when Trigger is still just working with +1 armor. And it is so freaking difficult to then keep your Protoss units alive. Whether they are Stalkers, Zealots, a Sentry, an Immortal, or Colossus, it just feels like it's gonna die so quick. That didn't feel right? What do you mean with that didn't feel right? It felt like a fine fight to me. The Viking count is obviously what mattered there. Like, without the right amount of Vikings, you cannot take that fight, but you guys can always keep track of the upgrades in the bottom. And if you guys can see the little dots, just know that blue is level 2, red is level 3, green is level 1 for the Terran. And we are working with blue, but the red is on the way. Disruptor is gonna get tagged and gets picked off. Trigger said a while ago in one of the Basilisk shorts that he thinks the Disruptor is currently the most underrated unit in the game. Doesn't mean he thinks it's fantastic, but he clearly thinks it's better than what people give it credit for. The army is kind of missing each other right now. Trigger making some progress through the center of the map, but Cure is already here. And Cure is going to sim forward, get on top of this Nexus. +3 is going to finish up by the time these armies meet each other. And all the tech is here as well, guys. There goes your Templar Archives. And at least one of the two robots is going to get picked off. All the probes are evacuating. We are just, it's an all-out migrate. What can Cure do? Yeah, Cure was probably hoping he could maybe defend in his main, but that's not a possibility. So the SUVs are leaving town as well. Okay, these two guys are a perfect match for each other. I know that some of the best of fives have been a bit one-sided. Unfortunately, that can happen. I obviously don't have any, magical powers that can always summon great games and fantastic series, but Cure and Trigger are putting on one hell of a show, and I don't really care what happens in game 3 or maybe 4, maybe 5, wherever we get. This has been top-tier entertainment. Cure has 6 Vikings. Trigger only has 2 Colossus, but he does have 11 Stalkers. I mean, okay, kill the Forge now. I would always kill the Forge, just in case the probes. Okay, Trigger is just going for the all-out raw. He will say, no, never. He could blink. He should blink. He will blink. He kills a lot of the Vikings quickly. One Colossus dead. The other one's still alive. There is a chance that Cure is going to be forced to pick up here. Obviously, these Protoss units are melting, but I do think Cure needs to get on. No, Cure thinks he can stim forward. He wants to stim on top of the Colossus. +3 Terran. Is it for the win, for the lose? Extra Zealots showing up right now. The Zealots that were not there. Can we snipe a full medevac? We cannot. So Cure gets out of there with, let's say, 2 full medevacs, even though one of them is not completely full. And the Trigger guys pulled every single probe in the making of that hold, if we can call it a hold. 9 Zealots, 9 Stalkers, and a Colossus. Liberator is going to show up, but the Liberator is going to get picked off immediately. First one dead, second one dead, but the final Marauders. Upgrades, upgrades, upgrades. So that is the name of the game. And these Stalkers, this Colossus, does not stand a chance against +3 Marauders with only 1 armor upgrade. GG gets called. Cure gets the W in game 2. What a fun game. What a great series, man. We're all tied up after 2. These guys love to fight. Who is that big man hanging on the wall behind you? This one is Gabe, and I also have Reynor. I think Reynor is blocked by my F1 poster. You guys may know the name BRKD Mariner, who stops by in the chat sometimes. He's been around for like 10 years. When I lived in America, Marina used to bring me spring rolls because his mom made them. Or like egg rolls, some call it egg rolls, some call it spring rolls. Marina is a legend, he's a good friend of mine, and he also gave me a cool poster of a picture that he took of the Las Vegas Grand Prix last year. Like last November, he went to the Grand Prix, brought his camera, took some pictures, and then when I met him in America, he gave me a printed version of the Max picture that he took. So I framed it, and I think that's blocking Reynor right now. But so this is I have to move my microphone, but this is the picture that my friend Marina took from the chat. Obviously very happy with that. And now you guys can see Reynor again. I have the Zealot and the Orc picture on the ground, and I've got the F1 thing on the ground. I'm gonna hang a lot of things, guys. By the time that I come back from Korea and we are finally going to start making this room as pretty and as awesome as I want it to be, we have a lot of things to hang. And of course I have to hang the picture of the Home Story Cup that I love. That is a goated picture. I don't have it here, so I cannot show it to you guys, but you guys may have seen it once over at the Home Story Cup or seen it on my stream in the past. It's with Todd, with Dennis, and with In Control. It's my favorite StarCraft 2 picture of all time. I actually think I look kind of good on the picture as well, which helps, but above all, I just love the memories that it gives me.
Round 3. Fight.
It's my favorite picture. It's goated. Alright, guys. You know, it's also goated. The main event of the Big Brain Bouts number 108. The first and the second series had their moments, but today truly has all been about these two. What a perfect match they have been so far. 4:22 a.m. is the local time in Seoul, but it has never stopped this man from giving us a great performance. Representing Team Liquid, it is Cure. If Reynor can run as fast as the car, he earns his spot back. I think Reynor, his best years are behind him. He's getting old. Turning 24 this year. He doesn't have that speed anymore. Speaking of Reynor, guys, if you guys are excited to watch some Reynor versus Clem, make sure to tune in to Piggy's stream tomorrow. I believe that's going to be the first series of the day, so that is 10 a.m. European time. That is 4 a.m. on the East Coast, 1 a.m. on the West Coast. It will be a best of 7 between Reynor and Clem. It is in the upper bracket, so whoever loses will still have a chance on having a great run over at the Pigsty Festival. But that is happening tomorrow morning for me, maybe tonight for you guys. It's going to be a lot of fun. Bottom right side of 10K, we are looking at the main base of our Canadian Protoss living in Korea. I'm going to see him in give or take 2 weeks. We're going to have some Korean barbecue. This is Trigger. Leak the stream key? My stream key? I don't think I did, but you know, I did actually leak my stream key once in the very early days of Twitch. Like, this is like 2012, 2013, when I just started streaming. I only had one monitor and I was just alt-tabbing and I was fixing some stuff. And it was just there. But I didn't think about it. And then the following day, I was out and I was on my phone and I take a look at my Twitter and I got like a whole bunch of like tweets. They're like, hey, someone is live on your Twitch, you know that? Who the hell is live on your Twitch? I'm like, what the fuck? So I take a look at Twitch, and I see that like some German dude is live on my channel from Germany while I'm living in America, and he's just sitting there with his little webcam. I was like, what the fuck? And then a Twitch admin DM me. He's like, hey, you aware of this? I was like, no, not at all. And then they took the stream offline. And they're like, please don't show your stream key on stream. I was like, all right, got it. Just like I had my Instagram, I wouldn't say hacked once, but I lost my iPhone 4 or 5, whatever it was, in China. I think they stole it, because I normally don't randomly lose things. So I think it was stolen by someone. And I apparently never changed my Instagram password. And one day I was just streaming from America. This was many, many, many months later. And suddenly someone in the chat is like, hey, Roddy, who's the guy on your Insta? And I was like, what do you mean? And I just saw like some weird selfie being taken from some dude. I don't even know the country anymore, but it wasn't in China. It was somewhere else. And he started deleting my pictures one by one. I was like, what the fuck? Full panic. I was so happy that I was like live on Twitch at that point. So I could stop it, change my password, and I lost like 4 pictures that I will never get back. But at least I didn't lose like hundreds. If that would have started at like 2 a.m., I would have woken up and I would have been so sad. Because I see it as a bit of a like photo album more than anything. Yeah, I was a bit stupid. I also didn't have a password on my phone. Because I had the great logic and reasoning that I have nothing to hide, so I don't need a password. Which, you know, definitely applies until you lose your phone and then you realize that everyone has access to everything. So maybe you should put a password on your phone. Yeah. You learn, guys. What can I say? I wasn't very bright in my 20s. But we have still made it to 38. Alright, back to Trigger vs. Cure. Nothing has died yet. 5 minutes of peace and not a charge first. This reminds me of the series that I casted back then with ZG when it came to the EWC qualifiers, like the last chance qualifier, where Beyond played against Lemon, and Lemon went charge first every single game. And I was like, you know, once is a surprise, sure, but every single game just seems silly to me. And if you guys would have asked me before this series started, Roddy, what are the odds that Trigger goes a charge before a blink 3 games in a row? I would have said they're not very high. You're really good at losing keys, watches, and handies. I think I've lost 1 set of keys in my life when I was a proper kid, like 10, 11. And I only had like 2 keys on it, one on my bicycle, but one was from our family home. Needless to say, Mom and Dad were not very happy with me. Got a proper beating and never lost keys again. No, they didn't beat me, but I was definitely not allowed to play any video games that day. They were pretty unhappy with me. Little shouting session. Got lectured. Never lost keys again. Cure has brought quite a few of the boys, guys. A 2-base, we can call it an all-in. Zealot charge is ready. Anti-armor missile connects in a pretty big way. This could get scary for a trigger. Double anti-armor missile because the Raven was early. This Protoss army is covered by Guardian Shield, but it's obviously also affected by the anti-armor missiles. And there is still so much firepower on the side of Cure. And I don't know if Cure is doing this because he's just expecting Trigger to always go charge first. But this is the downside of going charge first. You cannot kite the way you normally kite with Stalkers. You cannot shave off units the way you normally shave off a couple of units. And this is the whole reason why I'm just not that fond of Zealot charge first. It's one time as a surprise in some specific build order scenarios, it can be great. But if you do it over and over and over again, it's kind of inviting the Terran to go for the pushes that are most difficult to deal with. And that will never be a couple of Marines without stim and 2 tanks. That will always just be a crazy amount of bio with a lot of firepower. And in this case, the boys as well, that can body block. And Trigger has already lost his Nexus. Trigger is going to lose his 3rd Nexus as well. And now finally we have the micro potential that the Blink Stalkers give us. It's just a little bit too late. And after 7 minutes and 40 seconds, it is Cure who takes the 2-1 lead. 3 racks, 1 factory, 1 starport, a Raven, double anti-armor missile. I really just don't think on this level that you can go charge first every single game. I feel like it's fine to mix it in. I feel like it's fine. Maybe even like 2 out of 5 games, but every single game, you're not going to beat Clem, you're not going to beat Cure, you're not going to beat Maru. Like, they can figure it out. And there's a reason why Blink Stalkers have been the meta and have been the go-to opening for so long. Because it just gives you a lot more map presence, it gives you the ability to make some moves. Charge first is kind of like a dice roll where it can be fantastic in some scenarios and it's just a bit underwhelming in others. While Stalkers, there are difficult builds to face, but you're never really dead. Like, you always have potential. You can always make the difference. Buy time, pick off units, force them into a mistake, force them to turn around for a little bit. Well, sometimes if you go charge first, you're just kind of sitting there and you just hope that the army is good enough. And then if it's not good enough, we're just kind of dead immediately. Don't worry, Alex. I totally got you, mate. To me, it wasn't weird. Alrighty. And that means it is match point for this man.
Round 4. Fight.
Round 4, as we have loaded into White Rabbit. Even best of 5 ever deserved a 5th game after the first 2 games. I would say it is this one. Bottom left side, the man who was more than willing to accept the invite and said the time was absolutely not a problem for him. And then even called me a legend. He knows how to win me over. Representing Team Liquid, it is Cure. Top right side of a White Rabbit. We're looking at the main base of the man who is surprisingly, to me, playing charge first 3 games in a row. Now, are we going back to our bread and butter, the Blink Stalkers, or do we somehow try to pull off another charge first build? Maybe at this point this is trying to prove a point. Who knows? This is Trigger. No, Dr. Colossi, that's not how it works, because Marijuana King Prime is always weird. He lives for little moments like this where he feels like he can get away with being weird because somebody else set him up. So no. You are absolutely not right because Marijuana King Prime is weird, mate. He is weird by default, by definition. These are his factory settings and you're not proving any point by him agreeing with you. And again, I feel like it's almost becoming like a default that once every 4 hours I have to tell Marijuana King Prime that he's treading this very fine line of being a bit too weird, being a little bit too much, and he has to dial it in. I mean, believe it or not, and he really has his moments where I'm like, oh, it was nice spending time with Monarch King Prime today. But then right when those feelings take over, I'm like, alright guys, be right back, take a tiny break. I've just been live for like 80 minutes. And I come back and it's like, Roddy is taking a massive dump. And I was like, ugh. Like, no. It's like, why you gotta be like this? Why does it always have to go down this route? Why can't we just be a little normal? Alright, the Stalker into a sentry on the side of Trigger. And a Twilight Council on the way. Do we get Blink, guys? Because I would love to get Blink. As Cure is kind of going down the Nico Doctor route. Triple Reaper, double Hellion. Can be a gnarly build. I do like the forward battery. It's so important that we do not let those units get in. If we have the forward battery, because obviously if the Reapers and the Hellions do get in, these probes will not be healed by this battery. These probes will obviously never be healed. Miss Lethal? Lethal was here yesterday. Or not yesterday, sorry. I wasn't here yesterday. I'm lying. Lethal was here 2 days ago. He was ready to hop into the Deadlock in-house. He was ready to be number 12 on our in-house. Now the 3 Reapers are going to dive into the main base, and this is obviously the moment where the Hellions will dive into the natural. This is already working out very well for Cure. I've been here a million times myself, and I can guarantee you I've never won a game like this where I take this much damage. It's obviously not just the 6 probes, guys, that we are losing against the Reapers, which is a serious amount. It's a hefty amount. It's also all the lost mining time. I mean, this is hell. This right here is hell for the Protoss. Trouble. We're in more trouble than Pi was after he got parried by me in range with that tower. And let me tell you guys, spoiler alert, it didn't end well for Pi. And this is not looking very good for Trigger. And again, by the way, like we have gone charge first, but it's already hard to win with charge first against certain builds. If we have a clean start, if we have a good economy, this was a disaster. There's no other way to put it. Really good move, obviously, by Cure to send the Reapers by themselves into the main base, pull the units out of position, and then open the doors for the Hellions to get into the natural. And Trigger knows that he cannot fight those Hellions. He needs to deal with the Reapers, but it's so hard to get on top of Reapers when you don't have Blink, because the grenades are going to zone your units away, bounce them even further away from the Reapers. Yeah, it's tough. It's pure pain. And if I was Cure right now, guys, I would kind of do nothing for a little bit. I would just crank out Marines, Stim, Combat Shield. And a 2-base all-in may not be the most exciting or satisfying thing ever. I never expect these guys to play for entertainment. I obviously expect them to just play for the win. Especially main event, like $200 for a single best of 5 is obviously good money. So I don't think Cure is really in the mood to entertain us with a 25-minute banger here. He's probably going to pull the boys and try to win this game. By the way, these are rare moments where I actually think that Storm may be better than Colossus. Because like a single Colossus is either not going to be out in time or it's just not going to give us the impact that we're looking for. While maybe like a triple High Templar and a battery recharge and a couple Storms absolutely would. Trigger is moving out with the Stalkers, but this is crazy, by the way, guys, because now we have 4 Stalkers that do not have Blink on the other side of the map. If Cure stims and turns around, these Stalkers are dead. If Cure stims with a couple of units, these Stalkers are mega dead. Cure is not doing that because he's like, I don't want to drain my units their HP. And then the Stalkers just blink away, but they didn't even have Blink. I mean, that's just crazy. There is a moment where he will stim though, and guys, Stalkers are just so slow. Little force field is not going to buy all that much time. Will Cure stim again? Yes, he will most certainly stim again. He kills the sentry. And the Robobay is so late. I'm afraid we're so good. I really hope that I'm wrong. What's our Zealot count? Can it be surprisingly high? It's 14. Raven continues to be annoying in the natural. Drops another auto turret. Couple of probes going down. Is this the end of our night of video gaming? Or can Trigger pull off a miracle? First 2 games were fantastic. It was so fun, so close, so competitive, and so much battling. I'm afraid that Cure is not in the mood to struggle. This could be a potential very good engagement. If there was ever hope for charge first, guys. If it's only charge, we don't have Link. Guardian Shield is perfect. Zealot's coming in from the bottom. This is as good of a fight as Trigger is ever going to fight. We should move the Sentry forward a little bit. What a surround. What an engagement. Immortals get in range as well. And Trigger holds. Does lose the Sentry towards the end. A picture perfect engagement. The biggest problem here though, guys, is that Trigger doesn't have blink, so he can't even punish the pickup. It's just like you get a great fight, right? As good of a fight as you could ever dream of. But you're not exactly winning. No, but he's not losing though, Juanito. Yeah, the eBay was late, +1 is late, but he's just not losing. By any stretch of the imagination, I don't think Cure is losing this game. The only good thing for Trigger is that he does have a Colossus on the way. And hopefully the next time we fight, we've got Blink. But like right now, Cure is not losing by any metric. I meant the fight. I mean, even the fight, you could say it was a loss, but it's more of a wash, if anything. It's not like Trigger lost nothing. Like if you take a look at the units lost resource tab, it's pretty freaking even. And yeah, Trigger lost a bit more, but he still lost 15 Zealots and 2 Sentries. And then in return, he killed a couple Widow Mines, a few Marauders, and 18 Marines. But it wasn't exactly like a commanding Trigger victory. It was a hold, but a bit of a trade. War Prism in the main base. That could be the great equalizer. Every great Protoss comeback story starts with a War Prism in the main base. 7 Zealots get warped in at once. That is obviously a serious amount. A very good job at the Marauder. Look at these Marauders, guys. Find yourself someone in life who treats you the way that these 2 Marauders have been treating those Marines, because those Marines are sitting pretty in the back. Is there now maybe a moment where things can go well for Trigger? I don't know. He's finding damage. He's being really annoying. Obviously, some indirect damage there as well by all the SCVs temporarily evacuating the main base. It always does have a significant impact on your mining, even if it's only for 30 or 40 seconds. Stalker Micro is good there as we gun down the Viking. I'm a little bit worried. This army's kind of stuck. There are Zealots storming into the natural, guys. This is Cure's entire army. I'm quite certain of that. 1 Immortal gets tagged and 1 Immortal gets picked up, but this was most certainly Cure's entire army. Now Cure is just a tiny bit indecisive. I was like, he's trying to chase down this army. Trigger really making some great moves. Can we still get game 5? I don't know if I love this fight. I like the idea of being active with the Stalkers. I don't like the idea of exposing our Colossus. We have a War Prism though. We have money in the bank, but we're down 60 army supply. It seems like you're sort of managed to deal with the Zealots in his natural after losing 16 SCVs. I mean, our Canadian Protoss is about to get his hands on a 4th base. Zealots continue to be active. Zealots continue to be annoying. But Cure's army is just so freaking large. Massive. Ginormous. Humongous. Intimidating. 2 upgrades on the way now for Cure, as I think the Zealot killed the SCV that was building the armory for a while. So we couldn't actually complete the armory. We couldn't continue upgrading. Right. So even upgrades. It's kind of cool for Trigger. Trigger's work account is disastrous though. Has lost 16 probes in this game, lost 6 in the very beginning, lost a few more to the auto turret, but it's tough to win a game against a man like Cure when you're working with 54 probes and no bank. Especially if we're trying to go up to 4 bases. The good news for Trigger is that he will have a very large army. The Viking count is 7 though. It's so hard to attack into 7 Vikings. We do have a new War Prism into the main base. A few more Zealots hop out and they'll start slicing up SCVs immediately. A big old Zealot warp in. Cure is making really good plays. Can we get the armory? Can we get one of the eBays? Unfortunately, it is armor. Recalls the Prism, leaves the Zealots behind, gets the armory. And Cure, by the way, snap cancels +2 armor. Did not feel like he would be able to keep it alive. Why is Cure AFK? That's definitely what he is, mate. He's taking a little nappy, mate. He just ordered another soju. It's almost 5 a.m. for Cure, and that's when Cure does his finest work. And he's like, I want fried chicken and I want soju now. So that's why he was temporarily AFK. But if it's okay with you, he's back now. Cure is out of position, though. He may be back, but he's out of position. Trigger activates the Widowmine shot. And they shall not connect. Cure had enough of defending. A new Warp Prism into the main. That's a lot of bio. That's more than enough bio. You don't want to warp in any Zealots if you trigger here. We are going to base trade again. This Nexus will get cancelled. What does Trigger have at home? He's got 1 Nova. Let's see. Can we fire 1 Great Purification Nova? You would sometimes say 1 shot is all it takes. I actually like that he turns around because he knows that Cure was paying attention. Cure was no longer AFK to please NUXXZZ. Cure was watching, so he went for the guaranteed kill on the 2 Widowmines, which I kind of like. Is our Stalker count high enough to gun down this Orbital? I kind of think it is. We've got Blink. +2, by the way, is done. It's another base rate. It's 124 army supply for the Protoss against 140 for the Terran. However, a lot of Terran army supply is at home. If Trigger can force a fight against this army and then the rest, it could work. Or obviously we fight this. Like this is so much supply that Cure needs it. Trigger drops the tiny force field as he wants to take a little look. Alright, how much do you have in your main? He needs to be careful, but he's gonna Warp Prism here. Blinks into the main base. Still has no idea about the serious army that's waiting for him here. Guns down the medevac, that is cute. Like this is a bit of a surprise army almost. Trigger still has no idea that this army is here. Fighting this army could be massive. We're obviously not in any danger of being eliminated, guys. We have buildings for days, so don't worry about it. Trigger sees a Liberator. The Liberator is almost like bait for the Stalkers to blink in, but there's a serious amount of bio, and Trigger is now aware of the amount of bio that is there. Oh, these Colossus are gonna have a field day. Oh my goodness, it's a good day to enjoy the laser show. The 4th of July is nothing. But Cure is bringing back the army. The probes are going to give Trigger the heads up. Trigger wants to fight this army, guys, before the rest of Cure's army shows up. This is massive. You're fighting like 35% of the army. We're going to pick up a couple of units with the Warp Prism. Look at them Colossus. Kill the Liberator. That Lib is dead. Where are the extra units? The extra units are coming. We can drop a force field. Oh, the bio. This is Dunkirk. We're trying to save the bio units. But, okay, they do have tank support. Medevacs could not pick it up. Wow. Can we recall? Can we kill the Orbital and recall, guys? Is that a play? I mean, why wouldn't it be a play? We don't want to fight in range of these tanks, that's for sure. I mean, the only thing is that the army might be a bit too big to be recalled. Oh, we need a Guardian Shield. We need to get out of here. Anti-army missile, get out of here. I don't like it. The entire army is orange. What a game, what a series. Oh, we go. That's a great blink. It's a great blink to kill a lot of Vikings, but the tanks on the low ground are so problematic. The tanks are so absolutely awful to deal with. And I'm afraid that Trigger is going to lose basically everything. And I don't think he can rebuild. I don't know what we could have recalled. I don't know if he had enough energy. Or I don't know if the army was just simply too big. But that shall do it. It's the low ground tanks that make the difference for Cure. In Cure his very own main base. Wow. Great series. Great series, really fun games. I'm not certain about going charge first every single game. Yeah, like maybe the Stalkers can indeed just evacuate from the main base. What you can do there is just like let the Stalkers blink to the low ground, run away, and then we recall at least every Colossus, every Immortal, the Sentry, and we just recall as many Zealots as we can get our hands on. I would have loved that because fighting the tanks there is just impossible. Oh well, that was a fun series. I hope that the game has enjoyed it. GG, mate. Thank you for playing. That was good. That was good. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed it. First 2 series had their moments, but obviously could have been better. But I think the main event, even if it was 3-1 and it didn't give us all 5 games, I think it was excellent. Can't really ask for a whole lot. Are you going to play some games, Roddy? Roddy may very well play some games. I promised Pi a victory the other day in Deadlock, so we can definitely give Pi a victory. But we can also take a tiny break. We can give everyone a chance to ask some questions or look forward to the Pigsty Festival, because of course I love the BBB. I hope you guys love the BBB. I think you guys know how to show appreciation to the Big Brain Bouts. You guys can always join the Basilisk Discord server, follow Basilisk on various social medias or the YouTube channel in case you guys missed anything or you want to watch any of the games back. That is not the right channel, guys. I apologize. This is the channel. I'll post the link once more in chat. We would really appreciate it if you guys want to subscribe to the Basilisk YouTube, and you guys can watch a lot of the games back. Sometimes also get your hands on unique content where maybe Serral does some analysis of certain games of EWC, or Reynor takes a little look at some of the games of Serral. Lots of funny shorts as well. Lots of Cow Hill. Hey, this one did really good.